Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members of the elect, the Becharim, the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to be delivered in these last times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation Yasha. Alright, so breaking news. It just began. All right, U.S. begins bombing Syria and Iraq in retaliation against Iran-backed targets after 3 soldiers killed, which the 3 soldiers, were Jake, or they look like Israelites. Okay, so yeah, this World War III is brewing up. A couple of scriptures come to my mind. All right, Joel, the second chapter, which I'm gonna get. All right, let me turn up this brightness real quick. So it says the U.S. military. Actually, I'm gonna let this guy speak real quick.
To you later, my friend. We are learning right now, and Jennifer Griffin can confirm that these strikes have indeed begun in Syria and Iraq. This is coming from 2 U.S. defense officials who have been speaking to her and to Fox in general. More on that in a second. And Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv, what he is seeing and hearing and learning. Mike.
And Neil, what we're getting mostly is from regional media, Syrian media. Al Mayadeen right now is reporting that some 8 different posts have seen explosions. 8 different targets have had explosions, resulting in 6 deaths. And you have from Al Jazeera out in the region saying that some 12 targets have been hit. Now, the area that we know have been hit so far is the Al Mayadeen area and the Deir Azur area. Those are both cities to the east of Syria, very near the Iraqi border. They're both on the Euphrates River. They're about 30 miles from each other. And so minimal information coming out from where we have had these
right by the Euphrates River, okay? Let me keep going.
Particular strikes, but just a report that some 8 targets or 8 posts have been hit, resulting in what we know right now to be 8 deaths or 8 casualties. We know that 3 of them, again according to Syrian media, were of the auxiliary forces to the Syrian Arab Army. It all gets very complex and confusing when you start looking at the different forces in Syria and which layer they are. The Syrian Arab Army is pretty much the dominant force in Syria, but they are indeed supported by Iran. So you have 3 casualties, 3 deaths, according to Syrian media, from the Syrian Arab Army. They say that they indeed have been martyred, and these are the auxiliary forces of the Syrian Arab Army. So we're watching all the details, and one thing we can tell you is that the proxy forces, knowing that some kind of strike was coming into the region from the U.S. today, were not intimidated, at least not the Houthis. There was a missile, a surface-to-surface missile that was fired in the direction of Israel up the Red Sea. It was intercepted by the aerial defense system. And just a short time ago, the Houthis claimed responsibility for missile attacks, plural, directed toward Israel. So you still have a very chaotic region. The Iranian proxies are not necessarily intimidated, at least they weren't earlier today. And we now have word that the U.S. strikes have started in Syria with some 8 targets hit. Neil?
All right, thank you, my friend, very much. Syrian state media is passing along some updates on this as well, talking about U.S. aggression on a number of sites in Syria's desert areas, Syrian-Iraqi border, resulting in a number of casualties and injuries. They do not detail exactly how many. They do call it U.S. aggression, so making it pretty clear, as our Jennifer Griffin has just stated, that these strikes have
retaliatory U.S. airstrikes against Iran targets in Syria and Iraq. Again, we have always been saying once they touch Iran, Russia's gonna hop in. But first, it has to be the implementation before World War III pops off. It has to be the mandation, the implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the chip. All right, and Elon Musk on January 30th just announced the first human trial for the brain chip, which they've been doing, but now they're pushing it out on the surface. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be a hot year, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and we have been telling you people, man. All right, all this game playing Jake is doing, not taking heed to the spirit, switching up the doctrine. That's for another video for another time. But the Lord he's bringing judgment, but the Lord he's gonna do a mighty work, man. I can't wait, man. I just hope I just get delivered, and the Lord has mercy upon me, upon all the sincere Akim, the Akwath that listen, all right, and all brothers' households and their families, man. And the 1/3, I hope we just make it out, and we will, because it's already written, all right. But Lord willing, I'm part of the elect, all right. You brothers that's listening, you sincere as you as well, But hey, let's go. All right, let me get this scripture, Joel chapter 2, verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, the American troops, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, all right, the Red Sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, the Euphrates River, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things, you know. So yeah, and they're in that area, and that stink, that shall come up the ill savor. That's all of them. There's gonna be a lot of dead bodies out there. You people that's in the military that's being sent out off, out there, you ain't gonna come back. You're gonna die. Point blank. Period. That's just what it is. And once Yahushua returns, he's gonna obliterate all those armies from these different nations. Joel the third chapter. All right. It says, proclaim ye, Joel 3 verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, and beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right. Plowshare, pruning hook. Those are agriculture devices. Okay. A sword, a spear, those are weapons. So basically they're investing more weapons, what you're seeing. All these different nations are trading with each other with different weapons and jets and so on, right? And all of them have, damn near all of them have nuclear capabilities now. India got nuclear missiles. China, Russia, Iran. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's over there, and what you see on the screen is the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, Yahweh's decision. Okay, and that so-called Middle East region, which is really the West Asia. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. The Lord's going to judge them. All right. All those nations, their troops are being sent there. They're going to go to battle with each other. All right, it's going to be a lot of death. And ultimately, once Yahushua returns with the host of the holy angels, all right, he's going to obliterate them. He's going to come back in what you call a giant UFO. Okay? So let's continue.
Have begun. To Jennifer Griffin now at the Pentagon. Jennifer.
Neil, it's been a bit confusing over here this afternoon here at the Pentagon, but I do want to clarify. We can now report that U.S. strikes in both Syria and Iraq at locations in both of those countries have begun. That is official from two U.S. defense officials. Earlier, when we were talking about some of those initial explosions in Syria, there is still some confusion about which military carried out those initial strikes. But we can say that what we have been expecting all afternoon and for days now, frankly, is that the U.S. campaign led by U.S. Central Command, which will involve, we're told, air assets as well as sea assets as well as space assets. This is going to be a multi-tiered campaign. It's going to last days. It's going to strike multiple targets. I'm told upwards of a dozen to 24 targets in Syria and Iraq, targeting those Iranian proxy forces, the bases where they store the rockets, the drones, the command and control, and that is what they're going to be focusing on. We reported earlier today that the U.S. had B-1B Lancer bombers that had been deployed to the region from bases in the UK. Those B-1B bombers I would expect to be involved. That is the Air Force's, it carries the largest conventional payload. They will be involved. You can expect that there will be Tomahawks involved. You have a submarine, the USS Florida, that is in the region. It has 150 Tomahawks on board, as well as the U.S. Eisenhower. You have an air component with F-35s, F-16s, F-15s in the region, F-18s. This is going to be a complex, multi-layered attack, and it is designed to send a very, very strong and serious message, I'm told, to Tehran as well as to the proxy forces on the ground, Neil.
Yeah, it's getting hot, man. All right. Hey, stay focused. Keep the faith. All right. Hey, we almost out this bitch. Shalom.